call to order the meeting of the Davidson County Election Commission, September 26, 2022 at 9:00 a.m. Thank you for being here. Mr. Davis has called in. He's going to be just a few minutes late. So pursuant to Tennessee law, we have a requirement that the members of the commission review a sampling of voter registration cards that have come in the last quarter. So to start off the meeting, we will begin with that. So people, if anybody's watching this at home, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the commissioners review voter registration cards, at least a sampling of them. What's that?
Originated in Wilson.
So he showed up there first.
Or sent it there first.
I see. Okay.
That's a federal form.
But the ID, though, it looks like his Social Security number.
That's probably his address. I mean, his telephone number.
Okay.
And we have changed it to this per the state.
So we got his Social Security number somehow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So did we have to contact him to get that?
The state may have
Had it on file.
Right.
Okay. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning, Mr. Davis. We're reviewing the registration cards, and I think we're probably going to do that on and off during the meeting. The first item of business that we'll undertake, other than reviewing the cards, will be the reading of the minutes from our last two meetings. Those are the ones I have not reviewed.
those.
Right. It depends on whether or not this is, it says it's a new one, so we would reach out to this person, not put them on. They'll go in suspense status until they answer those questions.
Yeah, okay.
And this person was MOC. It means they moved out of county in 2012. So they were previously
Okay, probably already answered.
already answered.
Yeah.
That's right. Do you have some more for them to review?
Not that many. If we send that back, kind of out of order, your people will have to put them back in order.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay?
That's fine.
Okay, all right, okay. Ross, do you have any?
Yeah.
No, I mean, ones you've already looked at.
These are good to go.
Okay.
Mr. Roberts. Look at the time.
Are you a resident of the state of Tennessee? So when they do these kind of things, we would essentially double check and call them. So this guy's given us a residential address in Bellevue at 37221. So we would reach out to this person and they would be in suspense until we confirmed it. So it could be a phone call or it could be a letter.
Let's go ahead and put this back in power.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're getting a flavor of everything that we see.
Commissioners, if we could, let's turn our attention to the minutes and then get back to the voter registration cards, perhaps at the end of the agenda. Item 2 on the agenda is to consider the minutes from the June 6th, 2022 meeting.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Has everybody had a chance to look at the June 6th minutes? It's about a page and a half.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the minutes
All right.
for June the 6th meeting.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? With no opposition, the motion carries. Then let's turn our attention to item 3 on the agenda, the August 19th, 2022 minutes. Please take a look at those and give indication once you're ready to consider them.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Has everyone had a chance to review them? All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposition? With no opposition, the motion carries. Item 4 on the agenda is to consider the polling locations for Davidson County. I think what we have in front of us is a listing of all the Davidson County locations. Mr. Roberts, this is not for vote, or is there any reason to vote on this, or is this just for our information?
Yes, we really need to have a vote on this to designate those so that as we make changes in the upcoming years, you will vote just on the changes as opposed to a whole list. So this gets us started off after redistricting.
Okay. All right. So how many voting locations do we have total?
There are 178, I believe, listed on here.
All right. And that's an increase of, what, 18?
18.
All right. Okay.
And as you know, Mr. Chairman, throughout the upcoming years, we will have polling locations that decide they do not want to participate any longer, and we will have to secure new locations. So that will be an opportunity for us to bring those changes to this group to be voted on.
Right.
I make a motion to approve the list of polling locations as presented.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. With a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? With no opposition, the motion carries and the locations are approved. Item number 5 is to consider the compensation for the machine technician for the Democrat Party. I believe that's for consideration by the Democrat commissioners. So I'll turn that over to one of the Democrat commissioners for consideration.
And this salary would be for Mr. Medley from the period July 1 through the end of August.
I'll make a motion to approve. Mr. Medley certainly deserves the raise. He did the work.
A second.
All right, looks like we have a unanimous vote, so that carries. Now, do we have to consider anything for Mr. Medley's replacement at this time?
No, because the two Democratic commissioners brought forward Mr. French, including his salary at the time. So they would not have to vote on it since they put Mr. French in that position at that time. So
Okay.
I think we're in good shape.
Oh, I just want to clarify, was it just the two commissioners that voted for this? Yeah, well, I believe that the code indicates that it's the commission that sets the compensation, so the whole commission needs to vote on it, not just two members of a particular party. The code says the commission shall fix the compensation of the voting machine technicians and assistants commensurate with the work required. So it says the commission, not just particular parties.
I think.
And I believe this issue has come up in the past.
Right, and that's why we chose to go with this particular path this year, is because in the past, we had been doing the whole commission, And the advice was that it should be just both parties should be voting on their particular salary.
I think I have a different recollection, but yeah. So, I mean, that's my advice. It's up to the
Where did we, okay, we're getting advice from Nikki. Where did we get the other advice from?
Metro Legal.
Really? Okay.
Metro Legal?
Yeah.
It's not me.
Did we have it in writing?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
It's on the tape from the meeting.
From Metro, someone at Metro?
Maybe we should look into it a little bit
Sure.
further. And I'd say we've already did the Republicans this way,
Right.
and we've done the Democrats. So, Ms. Ecke, if you want to take a look at that and figure it out within your office, and if we have to, redo it at some point for a form reason, we can come back and do it again.
The only thing I can think of is for the Republicans to accept the vote, perhaps. But if the sense is let's just make sure we get our counsel straight and get our advice straight. And
Yeah, I mean, here's the problem. So even if you were to vote on a Democratic commissioner or the machine tech salary today, it's not noticed for us to vote on the Republican. So they should just travel together. I certainly don't want to be in a position where one party's being treated differently.
okay,
Great, thanks.
we'll defer to that then.
But in the meantime, we voted on Mr. Medley's salary. Great, thanks.
All right. All right. Item number 6 is the report from our AOE, Mr. Roberts.
Just a quick update here on some information. In the last 2 weeks, we've had about 4,000 registrations come into the office. 80% of those were through the online voter registration program. So that's really driving most of our numbers. We've recently added to our rolls 99 new poll officials. They've completed all of the documentation, the paperwork required to be a new poll official, and have attended an orientation. So we feel like those are good numbers. We've also had close to 500 people send in interest in being a poll official. So we'll be following up with those. The last total, we were just a little bit less than 1,700 total absentee requests for the November election. So it appears we're trending back more toward the types of numbers for absentee that we'd seen prior to the pandemic. The last day to request an absentee is November the 1st. The last day to register to vote will be October the 11th. Early voting begins at Howard October the 19th. And the satellite sites open October the 25th, including the Madison YMCA, which we haven't had for 2 elections. That's the news that I have for today. We do need the commissioners to sign an addendum to the certification that we voted on in August. We had a typo in there. Instead of the 7th congressional district, we had it listed as the 17th. And the documents that we sent forward to all the parties included only the precinct information. It didn't include the total. So the state would like for us to send an addendum notifying, here's the changes to the reports that we previously sent. So I will have those available for the commissioners to sign here.
Okay. Could you expound a little bit on that November 1st deadline for absentee ballots? Because I think, if I remember correctly, there is still a chance that if they request their ballot by November 1st, it might not get through the mails in time. So I don't want anybody to be to rely on that November 1st deadline.
Right. Based on our experience with the Postal Service, you're definitely pushing the envelope, because we would get your request on the 1st. We would have to send it to you via mail. Let's assume that takes a week, which we've been advised by the post office we should plan on. You would then have to hand deliver your ballot to the Broadway post office, go inside, hand it to the clerk, and have them put it in our post office box at that time. That's really your only window to make that happen.
Okay, all right. So please don't wait till November 1st, because there is not a guarantee that your ballot will get in on time if you do.
And just a reminder, the site opening up early voting in the East Nashville is the Maddox YMCA.
Ms. Harrison, do we have any public comments?
No, sir, no one signed up.
All right. Okay.
Do you have any more cards for me?
Yeah. Any more? We are going to go back to reviewing the registration cards.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
just some observation for the general public out there. I know our ballot will have 4 constitutional amendments on the ballot, and I do know that there is some miscommunication of, if you don't vote in the governor's race, if you don't vote in the governor's race and you vote for one of the constitutional amendments, that won't count. And I'm just trying to, for the general public, to clarify that if we could.
So we've been told by the state that this is kind of a myth going around, and that the voters should feel free to vote on all or any of the items on the ballot and feel confident that their vote will count how they vote.
Okay. Thank you. And, I've just brought that up because it was brought up to me as well, that some individuals or organizations are saying that, that if you don't vote in the governor's race, your vote on any of or all of the constitutional amendments wouldn't count. And my response to those individuals, I never want anybody to undervote. I want everybody to vote in every election and every piece of that. So I just want to clarify that, and I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. appears that we've reviewed the registrations and we've signed the supplemental declarations to the registration statements. And so we are to the point of setting the date and time of the next meeting. Does the staff have a recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, we would recommend the 28th of September, and the purpose of that meeting will be to certify.
You said September.
November.
Okay.
November. Nice catch there. November.
I'm usually
the 28th to certify the election.
And that's in relationship to Thanksgiving for everybody. How does that fall? Everybody's okay?
What time?
As far as time, it might be best, let me see when I can coordinate this room and the streaming.
While we have everyone here, though, can the commissioners chime in about their availability on that date and the time?
Obviously, I'll make whatever has to work. Is there any way, is that the earliest we can do it, is the 28th?
I think before that is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, what we're up against is having all of the certifications ready for you after the election on the 8th. That only gives us 20 days for a midterm election, so we're kind of pushing the envelope right there.
Okay, because so what days, I guess on that week, so Thanksgiving's the previous week?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, we're good then. No, I'm so used to it being at the end of the month, so I'm good, no problems.
Yeah, that's fine. The day works fine, and I'm flexible on the time, so.
Okay. Same here.
Fine.
Morning, okay? We might have a better chance of getting this room in the morning.
I'd prefer morning.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so do we have a motion to set the date and then to request that our AOE find out the time for it, and then to permit us to just let us know that, and then we'll have to put out a notice to the public in general?
Motion to set the next meeting November 28th.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposition? With no opposition, the motion carries. So we have gone through our agenda. Do we have a final motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposition? With no opposition, the motion carries.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.